The car that I have here today is considered one of the most iconic car that ever existed. So right next to me over here is the 7th generation Toyota Hilux. Now the Toyota Hilux nameplate is extremely popular and widely successful as it is sold in over 140 countries, making it one of the important models from Toyota. Even here in Malaysia, the Toyota Hilux is so popular that people over here simply call the pickup truck the Hilux. The 7th generation Toyota Hilux, codenamed the Hilux Vigo, was first sold in Malaysia in 2005. It went on sale for 11 years up until 2016. Now the Hilux in Malaysia undergo two facelift variation. The first facelift came in 2008, while the second one came in 2011. The car that you see over here is the second facelift variant, which was launched after 2011 in the top spec 3.0G trim. The fundamental that makes the Hilux a huge success and a huge step forward compared to the 6th generation is what lies underneath the car. So the Toyota Hilux leather frame for the 7th generation is about 45% stiffer compared to the 6th generation model, on top of it being physically bigger as well. Besides that, the introduction of common rail fuel injection system as well as VGT or variable geometrical turbo help give the Hilux a significant performance boost on and off the road. Its newfound size as well as performance is further supplemented by the additional of safety features which was never seen on the mid-size pickup truck. Things like dual front airbags, anti-lock braking system, seatbelt pre-tension limiter, as well as the use of high-tension steel made its way to the Toyota Hilux. As such, all of these things make the Toyota Hilux an appeal for not just workhorse buyers, but also families looking for a car that can do pretty much all in one. Particularly in East Malaysia, the Hilux found significant popularity due to the rural and rugged terrain found in that area. This was also the same case with the Hilux SUV twin brother, the Toyota Fortuner, which is essentially a 7-seater Toyota Hilux. So the Toyota Hilux back then was sold in Malaysia from 70,000 ringgit up until 110,000 ringgit across a few trim level and across few body style. So you have the double cab like this as well as the single cab. Now the Toyota Hilux can be had with two engine choices. Okay, the lower spec Hilux comes equipped with a 2.5 turbo diesel 4-cylinder engine. If you get the higher spec Hilux like this, you will come equipped with the 3-liter turbo diesel engine. Now this particular engine, codenamed the 1KD FTV, produces around 163 horsepower and 343 Newton meters of torque. In terms of acceleration time, this car will get to 0 to 100 km slightly above the 12-second mark. Of course, being a Hilux, this particular pickup truck is designed to go off-road. In that department, it is doing rather well as well. At the front of this car, it is equipped with the double wishbone setup with coilover, while at the back, it is using a solid rear axle with leaf spring setup. On top of that, perhaps one of the most important four-wheel drive system advancement is the available of ADD or automatic differential disconnect, which was available for the first time on the 7th generation Hilux. The 6th generation Hilux doesn't offer this feature, in which most of the 6th generation drivers will have to go out of the car and manually connect the differential at the hub of the front wheel. With the case of the 7th generation Hilux, this has been eliminated. making the Hilux one of the favorites for 4x4 enthusiasts who regularly go off-road. Stepping into the cabin of the 7th generation Toyota Hilux, this was a huge departure compared to the 6th generation. Back then when this first came out, I remember the dashboard looks very modern compared to the old one, and it looks like a dashboard that came from an SUV rather than a pickup. For a pickup truck back then, this cabin felt very comfortable and very pedestrian or very family friendly, if you will. In terms of storage, there's huge amount of storage. Okay, you have one in the center of here that doubles as an armrest. Huge amount of storage inside there. You also have the glove box. Okay. Now, in terms of safety, like I said, dual front airbags was the first time for the Hilux. And I do like also, you do have a little bit of storage underneath the aircon vents over here. And then you do have a pair of cup holder on the side here for the driver's side as well as the passenger side. And then the steering wheel in front of me, okay, so you can adjust it tilt but not telescopic. But in terms of its sitting position, I am 166 centimeter. The sitting position for this Hilux was fine to me. In no way, shape or form, I feel like I'm in a pickup truck. It's actually quite comfortable. And the comfort is further bolstered. If you get the top spec Hilux like this, you will get this black leather seat, which looks quite nice. And also, power driver seat on the driver, driver side of the cabin. So this is somewhat of a luxury feature and a welcome feature for the pickup category. So overall, the front part of the Hilux does exude a nice, a welcome ambience, despite itself being a truck. Okay, the material also is using hard plastic, but it is very durable. This car is more than 10 years old, and then this dashboard, I don't see any discoloration, I don't see any cracks. For the second row, okay, for Hilux standard back then, for pickup standard back then, this was a huge improvement compared to the 6th generation. The 6th generation, the body is a bit narrow and you have problems sitting 3 people across. But with this generation, the cabin is very wide and you can actually sit 3 adults across next to each other with no issue at all. Back there, the one thing that I like about back there is that the amount of leg room as well as headroom much improved compared to the 6th generation. You also have an adjustable headrest, which brings the comfort up significantly. Okay, in the center over here, the transmission tunnel is not that significant, so sitting in the middle row is doable. And yeah, you do have a cup holder located behind the center console over here. So that is a nice welcome feature. Okay guys, so I'm currently driving the Hilux 3.0, the Toyota Hilux Vigo. Now the Toyota Hilux, this particular unit is equipped with a 3-liter turbo diesel engine that makes 343 Nm of torque. Bear in mind that when the Toyota Hilux first came out with a 3-liter engine, this was in the late 2000s. Okay, so I've driven a few older diesel engine four-wheel drive back then, and it does not equip with the common rail system, so still using the Bosch fuel pump injection type. So this is the common rail system. So when the common rail system came out together with the VGT, the variable geometric turbo, it was considered a revolutionary engine for diesel. Okay, and in terms of the response back then, when this one first came out, it was a night and day difference in terms of response of the torque. And then the good thing about common rail system also back then is that at full acceleration, you don't really get a lot of smoke in the back. And this is usually the issue with older diesel, especially the one with the Bosch fuel time type. If you accelerate to the floor, you will get black smoke. But this is not really the case with the common rail system. Alright. Now, in terms of the ride and quality, of course, this particular car is more than 10 years old. So compared to modern pickup truck, then yes, the ride is somewhat choppy and bumpy for modern pickup truck standard. But back then, I remember when this thing first came out, compared to the 6th generation Hilux, this was huge improvement. It was very comfortable compared to the traditional 6th generation pickup truck Hilux. Okay, this felt like an SUV when it first came out. And then I remember back then, for those who always ride in the older Hilux, they say that for the first time ever, when they sat in this new 7th generation Hilux, going for long distance, rough road, the first time they said that they were able to fall asleep in this cabin because it is very civilized and very quiet and very comfortable. In terms of like normal cruising, I would say the cabin is quite isolated, okay, even by today's standard. I don't really hear any wind noises, okay, and then that is also testament to the aerodynamic of the car. So did you know that the Hilux, this particular 7th generation, when it first came out, it had a drag coefficient of just 0.39. So that is much improved compared to the 6th generation. And it's evident inside here. I'm cruising now at around 70 km an hour. I don't hear much wind noise from the outside. Okay. Now, in terms of visibility as well, I would say it's quite good in this car. At the back there, the glass is relatively square shape, and yeah, in terms of looking out of the car, I don't really have much issue lah. It's quite good visibility. In front of me, if you get the Hilux with the VGT turbo variant, it came with this scoop on the hood, and you can see the scoop there. It's a reminder that, oh, your car has a turbo, and it has the intercooler on the hood there. So that is a nice visual reminder that you have like a turbo under the hood. Now, in terms of the cabin itself, I would say comfort-wise for the driver's seat, it's very comfortable compared to the old Hilux last time, where you feel like you're driving a pickup truck. This one feels more like you're driving an SUV. And again, I would say like for something that came out from 2007, okay, or the late 2000, this feels quite civilized. For essentially, it's a workhorse, it's a pickup truck. In terms of the pickups handling as well, comparing to the old 6th generation Hilux, the handling in this is very good. Mind you, it's not like sharp like a sport car like that, but compared to older pickup truck, you can definitely point this better on the road. Like in terms of its responsive to turning, this one you can actually like position the car where you want to go. As per to older Hilux, it tends to be very floaty and inaccurate at all. The 4-speed automatic on this particular Hilux, okay, so in terms of how the 4-speed perform, I would say it's generally okay. In terms of its response, it's quite good. Okay, if I mash the throttle, it will down kick for me, and then it will hold the gear for me to give me the instant torque. So overall, the performance of the 4-speed is acceptable for this drivetrain. So the Hilux is also available in a manual transmission, and I've driven the manual transmission before. It's my dad's company car. But for the manual transmission, my only gripe is that the stick, the manual stick, is a bit too high, and it vibrates a lot if you're stationary, and I can't get an accurate shift. So there are times when I drive the manual, I go from first, second, and I straight away go to fifth. I completely miss the third gear because the shifter was too long. Okay, but you have an automatic version like this, it's fairly civilized. Just pop into D, and yeah, life is, a cruise, as they say. So to put into perspective, the jump from 6th generation to 7th generation was very significant. That the jump from 7 to 8 is not that much. And this leather frame, this chassis, it still underpins the current Toyota Hilux. Okay, the 8th generation, the Revo, the Rogue. Okay, so it's still using the same leather chassis from this generation. That is how much Toyota over-engineered this 7th generation model. So if you are in a market looking to have like a second-hand version of this, okay, unfortunately Toyota price hold very hard. Okay, one of these, especially with the 3-liter variant, okay, the price still holds around 60 to 70,000 ringgit. If you're lucky, you can get it at 50, but for most cases, it's quite rare. That's how good this generation is, and up until today, it's still very desirable, especially for those who wants to play a pickup truck that doesn't have a lot of electronics, this is the sweet spot. Okay, it has the power, it has the comfort, but it doesn't have that much electronic system compared to the newer Toyota Hilux. All right, and on the road, not gonna lie, I still see a lot of this variant. Okay, even the original 2004 model, you can still see it in the road, and you still see it driving on the road without any black smoke or without any issue. So the Toyota Hilux really is a very reliable pickup truck. Okay, and this 7th generation model, I would say it is civilized enough for if you were to buy one and use it as daily, it is perfectly acceptable. Okay, so there it is, guys, the 7th generation Toyota Hilux, the pickup truck that helped change the perspective of mid-size pickup from a simple workhorse to a vehicle that family would like to own. Its engineering, its safety features, as well as its overall size helped to pave the way for other modern pickup trucks such as the Mitsubishi Triton, Isuzu D-Max, as well as Nissan Navara. As such, the 7th generation Toyota Hilux, in my book at least, one that will continue to be an icon for more and more years to come.